A chilling tragedy on the water. 2 young children, a teenager, and an adult man all drowned at the same time under mysterious circumstances. What or who pulled them into the beyond? Don't miss it. The psychics uncover a shocking truth. This is Psychic Investigations. Here are only real and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate sensational criminal cases and incredible supernatural phenomena. 29-year-old Ukrainian woman Victoria Shabinska has reached out to the psychics for help. In this footage, her 7-year-old son Dima dances with his 3-year-old sister Polina, singing joyfully. But just 2 months after this video was filmed, Dima would be gone. The Shabinsky family had planned a weekend getaway with friends, the Pivovarovs and the Panins. They were supposed to leave early Saturday morning.
It was meant to be just the 2 families. Me, Victoria, Polina, and Dima, and Nastya with her husband Denise. They also had 2 kids, Sasha and the little one.
But Victoria's friends changed their plans and decided to head to the holiday base on Friday. The Shabinskys couldn't join them because they had a scheduled delivery of confectionery goods for their small business that evening. Therefore, they couldn't leave before Saturday.
I spoke with Nastya and said, "All right, then let Dima go with you, so Sasha doesn't get bored." Sasha is 6, Dima is 7. They were always excited to play together.
Now, almost every day, Victoria blames herself for letting her son go on that trip.
If my son hadn't gone, nothing would have happened to him.
As planned, the Shabinsky family headed to the resort that Saturday.
That same weekend, Anatoly Kriplovets, Nastya Pivovarova's father and little Sasha's grandfather, also arrived at the resort. The Panin family had already gotten there. Mother Tetiana, father Serhiy, their older daughter Anastasia, and 16-year-old son Oleksiy.
Around noon, grandfather Anatoly Kriplovets decided to take Sasha and his friends, Dima and Oleksiy, out for a boat ride. He'd done this many times before.
The man was a master of sport in kayaking. He knew this river well. According to his family and friends, Anatoly had been out on the water many times.
But that boat trip on that tragic day turned into a nightmare.
My child left and never came back. I don't even know how to talk about it.
On June 22nd, at around 1 p.m., the boat capsized. As a result, 4 people fell into the water and drowned.
Then we got the call. Dima and Sasha are gone. Victoria looked at me and collapsed.
4 people died. 2 young boys, 7-year-old Dima and 6-year-old Sasha, Sasha's grandfather, 64-year-old Anatoly Kriplovets, and 16-year-old Oleksiy Panin.
There's a dam on the river. The boat the victims were on was found caught beneath it.
The dam is located about 1 kilometer from the thermal power plant. It maintains the necessary water level in the river for the plant's operation.
2 powerful river currents collide at this spot, creating a dangerous whirlpool beneath the surface.
The 16-year-old boy was found first. The underwater current had thrown his body onto the shore. The search for the other 3, the elderly man and 2 children, lasted nearly a full day. But on the 23rd, the bodies were recovered.
Locals and visitors alike know it's dangerous to swim near the dam. Warning signs are posted on the riverbanks within an 80-meter radius of the dam.
The resort is located about 3 kilometers from the dam. How and why the boat ended up there remains unclear. No one saw which direction it was headed. Could Anatoly Kriplovets have intentionally steered the boat into the deadly vortex? But why?
The victims were in the boat around 12 noon. What happened after Anatoly Kriplovets got in the boat with the boys, no one knows.
No one can believe that a trained kayaker could have ignored basic safety rules. Anatoly, like all locals and vacationers, knew perfectly well that going near the dam was a deadly risk. The families of the victims still can't understand how this could have happened. Why did the boat end up in that whirlpool?
This case caused a media frenzy in the local press. People in town were saying that the man's carelessness cost the children their lives.
But Victoria can't believe that the man could have let the children, or himself, die, whether by accident or negligence. And no one, not even law enforcement, can't explain to this grieving mother what really happened on that river that tragic day. The Shabinsky family decided to turn to the psychics for help.
Maybe there's a way to reconstruct what really happened.
Project expert Serhiy Kolesnichenko takes on the case.
Strange. I see a man in the water. He's the one grabbing the boy.
To get to the bottom of this tragedy, Serhiy Kolesnichenko calls in clairvoyant Ilona Kaldra for help.
It's a photo of a little boy, right? The vision that appears is of a castle. And there's a young man standing there. He speaks of another death. He will be next.
Could someone else be in danger? And who is the man in the castle the clairvoyant is seeing? The psychics arrive at the home where the Shabinsky family lives. They're met by the grieving mother, father, and the little sister of the deceased boy, as well as close relatives and friends.
Hello?
Hello. We've been waiting for you so much.
Please accept our condolences.
The moment we approached Dima's parents, I saw the image again. A man grabbing the boy.
This is where we all live together. We never felt cramped here.
When their daughter Polina was born, the couple began saving for a bigger place. But after Dima's death, they lost all meaning in life.
This was made by the boy's hands. His favorite toy, a dinosaur.
He loved learning about dinosaurs.
Little Dima was incredibly bright for his age. At school, he was top of his class. He loved reading and was always curious.
Tell me, what's this?
Coral!
He loved collecting minerals. We were planning to complete a whole collection, but we never finished it.
Polina always listened with fascination to her brother's stories about minerals from around the world. Dima knew so much about them.
Dima did not die alone.
3 deaths, almost simultaneously. I feel that he fought to survive until the very end.
Yes.
That day, not far from where the boat capsized, a group of 3 people were out relaxing. They heard screams and a child crying. When they ran toward the noise, they saw a little boy in the boat. They threw him a rope to try and save him, but he couldn't grab it. The boat was rocking violently, and the child fell into the water.
It's strange. No one saw how the boat ended up under the dam, caught in the whirlpool. People only noticed something was wrong when only Dima was left in the boat.
What's this? Like glass.
Something about the size of a dove, something bright, hit the window.
Unbelievable. But it really was a dove. It struck the window pane. Victoria says nothing like that had ever happened in their home.
There's something mystical involved in this case, a kind of fate.
Could it be he's sending me a sign?
Before this happened to your son, did you receive any signs?
3 weeks before, he told me he drowned. I said, but they pulled you out, right? He said, yeah. Some guys like divers.
To connect more deeply with the boy, Ilona and I decided to go to the playground where Victoria's son spent so much of his time.
The playground is about 200 meters from the house.
Can I see your hands again? You're not his biological father, are you?
That's right.
The child's father didn't live with you.
Was he taking anything? Is that why you broke up?
It was alcohol.
Dima's biological father, Andriy, left the family when the boy was just a year old. A year later, in a crowded clothing market, Victoria spotted Serhiy, her future husband, selling clothes.
We met and that was it. We never parted again.
Just a year later, the couple got married, and the following year, their daughter Polina was born. Serhiy became a true father to Dima, always calling him my little son, and Dima called him Daddy. Like his birth mother, the stepfather is tormented by guilt for letting the boy go alone that day.
I sensed that someone in the crowd was giving off a very unusual energy. Ilona and I noticed a woman holding a toy in her hands.
Let me see that sweet toy. A girl. Is it hers? Was it a gift from your son? What's her name? Katya?
The woman's name is Tetiana. As it turned out, the toy she was holding had been a gift from Dima to her daughter Katya 2 months before the tragedy.
I loved him very much. We dreamed of growing up fast and getting married. When Dima died, I couldn't bear it. I cried so much. I wanted to know how it happened.
I sensed that somewhere nearby, there was another woman whose grief was just as deep.
You lost your son too?
Yes.
Your name is Nastya, right?
Were you with the children that day?
Do you in some way feel responsible for what happened?
The child was with me. I was responsible for him.
Victoria had a hard time convincing Nastya to meet with the psychics. The woman eventually came because that fateful boat trip took from her her only son, 6-year-old Sasha. And to this day, the mother can't understand how such a thing could have happened.
The adult man was your father, am I right?
Yes.
Many people wonder why it happened. There was an adult in the boat. He's the one being blamed.
Please tell them not to film. I don't want this.
After what she heard, Nastya refuses to speak with the psychics on camera. She's afraid of hearing accusations that it was her father, whom she also deeply loved, who was to blame for what happened. After all, nearly every second person blames him for the tragedy.
There was another boy in that ill-fated boat, older than the others, a teenager. At that moment, I had a vision of him.
Who is this boy? The name starts with an O. Who is he?
Oleksiy.
I'd like to meet his parents.
If you don't mind, could we go to the cemetery and try to speak with your son?
The Panins live on the other side of the city. 16-year-old Oleksiy was the youngest in the family. He has an older sister, Nastya, who is 21. The tragedy has united these families in grief. They are all searching for the truth. Victoria called the boys' relatives to let them know that Ilona Kaldra would be visiting. Meanwhile, Serhiy Kolesnichenko is heading to the cemetery, to Dima's grave. It turns out that all the victims of that tragedy were buried next to each other.
These are all our children.
As soon as I tried to speak with Dima's spirit to understand what happened that day, the spirit of the dead man appeared instead. He was crying uncontrollably. He feels truly guilty. It's as if he's gripping something in his hands, suddenly pulling a lever. The speed increases.
A motorboat with manual control operates like a motorcycle. A lever on the motor controls its speed. If the man accelerated toward the dam at high speed, the boat could have easily been pulled into the whirlpool.
Something's off here, because his grandson was in the boat. His mind was all scrambled. A kind of mental fog, a haze before his eyes.
The man who died was a former pilot. He was always in control of everything around him. So what happened that day? How and why did the boat end up in the whirlpool beneath the dam?
I sensed the presence of a fifth person.
Who does the clairvoyant see? There were only 4 people in the boat. Who is this fifth?
Boy's stroking your hair now and saying, "Mamusik, he's speaking to you. Everything's fine."
As it turns out, that's exactly how Dima always addressed his mother.
It feels like a big family. They're all together like in one house. Grandchildren, grandfather.
Meanwhile, Ilona Kaldra has arrived at the Panins.
Hello?
Hello. We're glad to see you. Please come in.
Oleksiy's whole family is at home. The boy's parents still can't believe that their longtime acquaintance Anatoly could have killed the children.
Yes, I really want to know the circumstances of my son's death.
I'm trying to tune in. Were you also at the river?
Yes, we were all there together.
Oleksiy's mother and father had known Anatoly Kriplovets for 5 years.
We trusted him as we would ourselves. Why did they end up in that spot specifically?
The day before the tragedy, the man had been boating on that very river, and no one could have imagined that a day later, the boat would end up in a whirlpool, and Oleksiy would be among the dead.
He was our pride. We love him. He was my rock. He was our sunshine. If only we could bring Oleksiy back.
Inside, it's just empty. I miss his hug so much.
Why did the glass shatter?
A couple of days before it happened, I stepped out onto the balcony, and 4 birds flew up and started banging against the window. There were 2 big birds and 2 small ones, just like 2 adults and 2 children, and the glass simply cracked.
Goosebumps. The late Dima had a strange dream where he drowned, and today, during the investigation, a dove nearly crashed into the window of their house. Shortly before the tragedy, birds also tried to fly into Oleksiy's apartment, and there were 4 of them, exactly as many as the number of people died in the boat. What does it all mean?
Now I'll go to the river and try to reconstruct what happened.
We'll go with you.
Meanwhile, Serhiy Kolesnichenko is nearly finished with his ritual at the cemetery. He too is heading to the site of the tragedy.
As we were walking across the bridge, I again saw the image of a man in the water, as if he grabs the boy and pulls him under.
The whirlpool is terrifying in its power, so how did the boat end up here?
This wasn't the first death here. It feels like there were 2 other people dead. Again, a boat. Men were fishing. It's as if something grabs them and starts pulling them out one by one.
That incident really did happen 5 years ago. 2 men were fishing nearby. Suddenly, their boat capsized. Their bodies were found a few days later.
There's another person, a very good swimmer, maybe about a year ago.
He drowned. He was a lifeguard.
The man knew this river like the back of his hand. He was a trained rescuer and knew how to handle himself in the water.
A girl, again, a similar situation. The boat flipped over.
Locals say that 20 years ago, a couple in love were out boating. The boat capsized and the girl fell into the water. She drowned almost instantly.
So many deaths.
Around 30 people.
Within a 100-meter radius on this section of the river, many people have indeed died under mysterious circumstances over the years.
34 people, including our children.
At that moment, I saw the spirit of a young guy walking on the bridge. He pointed toward the river as if to show me where he died. He jumped from the bridge. You see, the souls of those who take their own lives are bound to the place where they died. His was the first death here, about 50 years ago.
Local residents recall that around 50 years ago, a young man jumped from this very bridge. He was only 23.
An orphan, I felt a strong sense of family loss.
His parents died in a car crash when he was just 5 years old. He was raised by his grandmother. She passed away when he turned 18. After that, he was left all alone and felt lonely.
The spirit now sees your loved ones as his own family. He gathers them one by one.
So he took our children?
I see a vision, a castle, and a boy calling out saying, "You're next."
He fulfilled his dream in the afterlife. He built a grand castle and draws in those who come to the place where he died. They are like one big family. Grandchildren, grandfather.
It sounds unbelievable, but Victoria recalled that a month after the tragedy, Dima's little sister, Polina, had a dream. Her brother appeared and said he now had new parents and that they all lived together in a golden castle.
Dima has a little house in the sky. He's there with Sasha, Grandpa, and also with Oleksiy.
It's chilling. But how did the boat controlled by Anatoly end up there? Why couldn't an adult man prevent the tragedy?
The man's condition. He had problems with blood pressure, possibly heat stroke.
It was very hot that day.
It feels like he started to lose consciousness, like a mini stroke. The boat began to gain speed, a spasm. His hand clenched, and the boat sped up rapidly.
If the man suffered heat stroke and lost consciousness, he could have fallen on the throttle, causing the boat to accelerate uncontrollably and be drawn into the whirlpool.
It's horrifying. So the man simply fell ill? lost consciousness and collapsed onto the motor lever? And that's why the boat raced straight into a deadly water vortex.
The spirit of that young man is still tied to this place, and he might claim someone else. One should avoid that stretch of the river.
The only advice we can give is, for those watching us and those who live nearby, avoid this place. No boat tours should come here.
Thank you very much.
The Devil's Belt. Investigating a man's mysterious death, the psychics will reveal an incredible mystical anomaly. Will the clairvoyants be able to stop the deadly force that is hunting people? Anastasia Okushko has turned to the psychics for help. She emigrated to Germany and only visits Kiev twice a year for major holidays. However, her last trip was due to a tragic event. Her only brother, Maksym, died under mysterious circumstances on Christmas night. He was 32 years old at the time of his death. Maksym was the dearest person in the world to Anastasia, but now he's gone.
I hope the psychics will help me find out what really happened.
Maksym was a tile layer by profession. He lived alone and planned to celebrate Christmas with his friends. His sister still doesn't understand what happened that tragic night. How did he end up unconscious with multiple injuries in the middle of the road? According to the police, it was an accident. A car traveling at high speed hit Maksym near his home.
According to the investigation, the road accident occurred on the night of January 7th to 8th. An ambulance took 32-year-old Maksym Okushko to the intensive care unit with multiple injuries. His condition was critical.
Doctors tried to save him for a week, but his injuries were incompatible with life. Maksym died without regaining consciousness.
His head was severely injured. He had an open skull fracture and multiple bruises.
What's strange is that the police apparently found the culprit of the hit and run. However, the perpetrator has not been punished for some reason. Therefore, the question arises, is the man really guilty, or are the police officers trying to pin the crime on him while the real criminal is still at large?
Hit and run remains the chief version of the local investigators.
But Anastasia insists that her brother's body had injuries uncharacteristic of a car accident. She got the impression that he was severely beaten and then thrown under the wheels.
His eyebrow and eye were bruised. It hurts me that my brother is gone, that he died. But his killer is free.
A psychic from Kiev, Dmytro Dulski, takes on the investigation of this case. He calls himself a necromancer.
It seems like the guy simply fell into a black hole. He was clinging to life with his last strength. But an incomprehensible, incredibly powerful force left him not a single chance.
A hereditary psychic, Olena Kurilova, will also work on the case.
The man's death is just the tip of the iceberg. We'll see more deaths.
The psychics arrive at the scene, where, according to the police officials, the road accident took place. Maksym's sister, Anastasia, and his girlfriend, Svitlana, are already waiting for them here. The neighbors and friends also gathered, all wanting to know what really happened to Maksym.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Svetlana.
Svitlana works as a maid at one of the capital's luxury hotels. She had been dating Maksym for 6 months. They met through mutual friends. At the time of Maksym's death, Svitlana was with her parents, and she still hasn't come to terms with the loss of the man she loved.
I just couldn't believe that it was Maksym lying there.
I'd like to ask you under what circumstances my brother died here, and who was involved in his murder.
As soon as we arrived, spirits started approaching us from all sides, and there were a lot of them. They all whispered that they died. They died unnatural deaths. But I wasn't sure if it concerned Maksym. Can I hold your hand?
My right hand.
Maksym. Blood on the ground, right here.
According to the police, the hit and run on Maksym occurred exactly where the psychic indicated.
I feel like someone is following him.
We believe it was a deliberate murder.
But I don't see any intent. I'm trying to stop a car.
A flash and light. Dazzling light. And a hit.
The vehicle wasn't large, like a sedan.
A Chevrolet Lacetti.
According to the police investigators, Maksym Okushko was hit by a silver Chevrolet Lacetti.
And then the body started rolling and rolling, and the flesh gets smeared. The soul flies away, but the heart still beats. It's not death, it's horror. I don't understand one thing. Why do you see intent, but I don't?
Let me summon his spirit. I need a crossroads. And I need his girlfriend.
I'm staying with the sister.
Give me your hand. I sense something. But it's not this man's spirit. He died of some cough, like tuberculosis. I don't understand what's going on. There's something dirty here, and it's sucking me in. I couldn't tune in to the victim's energy. Something, some force, was interfering with me. I need to consult with Elena.
Your brother loved you very much, but there was some misunderstanding. I asked him if he was upset with somebody, and he said yes, and pointed at you. Then he pointed far, far away. You left far away. He told me, "Why am I alone? I'm always losing everyone. Everyone is slipping through my fingers like water."
Anastasia often blamed herself for leaving her brother in Kiev. She says that maybe if she had persuaded him to move to Germany, the tragedy wouldn't have happened.
I told him, Maksym, maybe we should think about getting you here. But he always refused.
The man didn't want to leave Ukraine. He was sure that his life, his best friends, and his beloved girlfriend were here.
Come here. If birds fly, especially if it's doves, it's a symbol of the soul.
A black dove flew to the scene of the tragedy. The bird is behaving very strangely. It walks around the psychic and Maksym's sister, as if drawing some kind of circle.
I tried to summon Maksym's spirit, but a completely unrelated spirit came. I don't understand what's going on here. What's this place?
The spirits of the dead surrounded us and wouldn't let us work.
There's something wrong with this place. Some kind of magic. I've never seen anything like that before.
The psychics emphasize the unique energy of this place again. But what does it mean?
He shouldn't have died. Some force pulled him. It's connected to his friends.
I keep seeing number 4.
He wasn't alone. I see a man next to him.
There's a man over here. What's your name?
Sergei.
You knew him, didn't you?
He was my best friend.
Come over here.
Serhiy and Maksym had been friends since they were children, but at the time of the accident, Serhiy wasn't with Maksym.
There's some kind of seal. He's being pulled too. You need to watch out.
There's a threat to your life. This situation is connected to this place. I don't understand it at all. It's like a morgue here.
But how is it related to Maksym's death in the first place?
I'd like to talk to this woman. What's your name?
Lessa.
You were here. You walked along this sidewalk.
Yes.
It turned out that Lesia was with Maksym in the same company on that Christmas evening, and she witnessed a terrible tragedy.
We were walking here. A car was passing by. At first, it was going slowly, but then I heard the tires screech, and it sped.
Wait. A man is walking next to Maksym, and he's alive. They were both hit. Was it a hit aimed at both of them?
Yes.
There is another victim of the road accident. It's Maksym's friend, Pasha. The young man sustained significant bruises and abrasions and a concussion, but he survived.
Maksym went down, under the car's wheels, and the other guy flew over the hood.
Indeed, during the collision, Pasha ended up on the car's hood, which saved his life. But Maksym got under the wheels.
I'm not sure if there's really a threat to your life, but I think there is.
Does this mean this woman also has a shadow of danger following her?
Wait, there was a fight before that. Not here, somewhere else.
It happened over there. Can this man help us?
This is Oleg, another of Maksym's friends. He was also with Maksym when the tragedy occurred.
What trouble did you get into? What happened? Were you beaten? Were you robbed? I see you lose your wallet or something small.
Before the accident, Oleg had a fight. He was beaten and had his mobile phone stolen. He came to his friends Maksym and Pasha, asking them for help. They dialed his phone and arranged a meeting with the attackers to retrieve it.
That evening, Maksym and his friends went to the meeting to get Oleg's mobile phone back. A fight broke out during the conversation.
The driver of the car that hit the pedestrians was one of the participants in the argument. He demanded money for the phone he had taken from Oleg and was the provocateur of the conflict.
What happened to that car? It drove away with a screech of brakes. It's like the driver saw them walking on the road and hit the gas, as if the devil possessed him. And while he drove himself, some force controlled him.
It's like a graveyard here. Something will keep happening here.
But what is this place? Why is there such negative energy here? The psychics decided to walk aside and consult with each other.
I have the impression that something can happen to every person who lives not far from this place. The spirits are coming and surrounding us on all sides.
What do these terrifying visions mean? Perhaps everything will become clear in Maksym's home. That's where the psychics are heading now.
A woman's spirit. Let's go upstairs.
It smells death in here.
The entire building reeks of it.
Open up.
If I'm not wrong, the family used to live there.
Wait, I see a boy, a teenager. He jumped out the window. Bam! Maksym is telling me. He was also killed. A woman is crying. She's elderly. She's burying her entire family.
She was the last to go.
It turned out that a large family indeed lived in this apartment at one time. A grandma, her son, daughter-in-law, daughter, and grandchildren. But now the apartment is empty. The adults have passed away, and the grandchildren don't wish to live in this apartment.
She's holding a bucket. I'm afraid to go there. I don't know your name. You're the hostess here. What? There's a terrible smell.
What happened? Water.
Water, quick.
Olena! What's wrong? Back off, to get some air.
Her head is in the bucket of water. The water's hot. There's a terrible stench. Liquid. And in the liquid, a head is floating.
A horrific situation happened there. The grandmother was hacked to death.
Who did it? The hands are female, but the woman wasn't related to her.
It all started after Irina, the daughter-in-law of the oldest resident, Tonya, moved into the apartment.
They lived together, and everything was fine until Aunt Tona's daughter-in-law moved in.
After that, everything went awry. First, Tonya's daughter, Vera, ended up in prison.
She was sentenced to 3 years in prison for allegedly stealing some sweaters.
Then, Tonya's grandson, Vera's son, died under mysterious circumstances. The boy fell out of the 7th floor window.
It wasn't an accident that the boy fell out of the window. He became a victim of this sinister force.
Later, Tonya buried her daughter and son one after the other. However, what happened next is simply unimaginable.
A woman named Irina murdered her mother-in-law, Tonya, and dismembered her body. According to Irina, she boiled parts of the body in a pot, got rid of the innards by flushing them down the toilet, and carried the bones out of the house in garbage bags. Tonya's granddaughter, Vika, reported the murder to the police.
Her children arrived, entered the building, and then the apartment. They didn't like the smell in the apartment. Vika said she went to the kitchen, opened the pot, and saw her grandma's head in it.
That an ominous force is out hunting. It came out and is picking such repulsive, such cruel ways to drag, pull a person to the other world. Something's not right here.
Let's go outside.
I sense a woman. It's like one moment she was there, and the other she was lying on the ground.
A girl of about 20 years old that used to rent an apartment here jumped from the 8th floor.
There's a crowd of dead people. So many unnatural deaths.
To at least somehow clarify what they sense, the psychics go to speak to the building's old-timers.
Wait, a woman lived there. And a man. He was her partner, but not a husband. And there was a little girl, so cute.
About 5 years old?
And he beat her. And there's a tiled wall, a bathroom. And he takes her and hits her head against the wall. Bam. Did he kill her?
He did.
It turned out that another brutal murder happened in another apartment in this building. A stepfather beat his partner's daughter to death with a belt.
During the autopsy, they found a bruise on her liver from a belt. He beat her so badly that she died. She was only 5.
This is just terrifying. We haven't encountered so many horrible deaths in a small neighborhood with just 3 buildings. But what does it all mean?
There are corpses all around here. I need to go there. I see Maksym again. He's showing me an envelope. He draws the envelope with his finger, like this, and for some reason, he puts it on the ground. This is a sign written on the ground. What is the ground drawn on?
On a map.
But why a map? And how is it related to all these? And Maksym's deaths?
This sign is connected to the world of the dead and cemeteries.
The psychics walk away to the park.
I have a vision of something trampled on the ground, and I'm looking from above. And there were flashes in the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is the drawing of the funnel. This is the drawing of death. 6 burning points, and for some reason, they're connected to the ground. 3 6s. I see a demon.
How awful.
Does this mystical energy really come from the 6 points? The psychics mark them on a map of the area.
Connect them. Look, it's an envelope.
Yes, it really looks so.
It turns out that Maksym showed me the envelope for a reason. These 6 points are like portals between our world and the afterlife. Connected to each other, they form the so-called Devil's Belt. And the neighborhood where we were is a link. One of the points in this belt.
Indeed, each of these points has extremely negative energy due to what happened there. In one of them, during World War II, Nazi soldiers shot and buried thousands of innocent people. In the second point, there are many fatal traffic accidents for no apparent reason. The third point is the famous mystical Witch Hill. The next three are places where large numbers of people are buried. Cemeteries, and also an old cemetery near the place where 32-year-old Maksym died.
The spirits showed us those 6 points so we could connect them.
As it turned out, not only psychics talk about such places, scientists also study them. There is a theory by American biologist Yvonne Sanderson. It talks about the so-called 5 points of the devil: the Bermuda Triangle, the Gibraltar Wedge, the Devil's Sea, and the African and Hawaiian anomalies. All these points are 6,666 kilometers apart from each other. 3 sixes are the number of the devil, hence the name of the anomaly. But what should the locals do now to protect themselves? Are their lives still in danger?
We will go to the courtyard of the building where Maksym lived. He will put up a protection from the demon. And I'll put protection from accidents, catastrophes, and spirits that may call and pull people to the afterlife. I need the people to make a circle.
Closer, closer.
Come up, everyone. Hold your hands.
I'm beginning.
Thank you very much for your help. You helped not only me, but many people.
A town of ghosts. Otherworldly spirits are trying to burn anyone who settles in their territory. What is the reason behind the dead's revenge on the living? Is it even possible to stop the hellish fire of this revenge? In this episode, the psychics are going to challenge an unknown mystical force that has burned the house of Marina Szymanska from Ukraine. The firefighters who arrived to extinguish the fire say it happened as a result of a short circuit. However, why it happened remains a mystery to date.
We don't know how the short circuit could have happened. The wiring in the house was freshly installed.
It simply couldn't have burned all of a sudden.
The Szymanskis claim that a week before the tragedy, unbelievable things began happening in their house.
I came to the veranda and saw a black haze. It looked like a black cloud. And I felt that something was holding my legs, like it was gripping my knees.
The house squeaked. It squeaked all the time. I heard someone's footsteps.
And the next day, the entire family witnessed the icons fall from the shelves and the window panes crack.
They all broke. All the panes got smashed. It was in the kitchen. Grandma and I were there, and she got so scared, all the panes simply shattered.
The longer it lasted, the worse it got. Furniture and different heavy objects that people can't even move began falling in the house.
We came to the kitchen and saw the table overturned. We put it back and went out, closing the door. 5 minutes later, it was lying on its side again. But all of us were outside.
Honestly, you don't see such things even in horror films. It's so awful.
Marina and her family were afraid to even approach their house. A day before the fire, the woman went to the church to convince the priests to bless her house. But no sooner had the Holy Fathers commenced the ceremony than an incredible thing happened.
Every priest has a book of prayers to bless water or home. But the moment we were ready and took the book, a page in it caught fire. But there weren't any matches. Nothing at all.
Nevertheless, even after the blessing, the Szymanskis didn't dare to enter the house.
We slept outside that night.
In the morning, the woman and her husband went to work. They both work at the local meat processing plant. Their son, Mikita, and his grandmother decided to try to enter the house to take their belongings from there.
In the afternoon, my boss told me, "It seems your house is on fire." So I rushed home.
The neighbor who lives next door was first to notice that Szymanski's house was ablaze. Since she'd seen the grandmother and the boy enter it, She ran to save them.
I heard my neighbor shouting, "Aunt Svetlana, Aunt Svetlana." I opened the door and saw the huge flames.
The house was burning from the inside. The grandmother and her grandson almost fainted. Svetlana saved them from the house the last moment.
He's little, a 5th grader. Poor thing, he got so scared. I shouted and dragged them out and...
Now we have no house and have to start everything from scratch.
Marina and her family are begging the psychics to come and help them. The family moved into another house in the same street. They are confident that the poltergeist moved there with them.
We went to bed at night, and then I heard something crash loudly. Boom! Like somebody hurled a plate at the sideboard, and the glass shattered.
This is something abnormal, something from the beyond.
The psychics are the family's last hope. The woman says she will not survive if their other house burns too.
I'd really like them to help us find out what it is.
The project's psychics, Olena Kurilova and Larisa Hutsanu, immediately arrived in the southern Ukrainian town of Kilia, where Marina lives. They attend the site of the burned house to tune in to the event's energy.
Listen, there's a voice rumbling in the distance. You shouldn't have entered it.
Entered where?
I don't know.
On our way here in the van, I had a vision of people walking somewhere covered by night, and they were holding fire in their hands. They were bearing the fire.
It's a group of people, something like a secret order. You know, like those that have a centuries-old secret.
What kind of mysterious order is that? And what does it have to do with the fire in the house of a seemingly ordinary family? Marina and her son approach the site of the fire. Their neighbors and townsfolk surround it.
I also live here, and I'm scared this thing can come to my house too.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming to help us.
Listen, I hear rumbling. And monotonous beating. I feel it with my feet, like it's coming from the underground. I had a feeling as if somebody or something were trying to break through here from the world of the dead.
I have a vision. I see a boy with a stick in his hands, and on top of the stick is a human head. The human is dead.
What is this?
Back in the day at the old cemetery where there are garages now, a human skull was dug out.
Who did it?
My brother, Sergei.
Do you have Sergei's photo? What did he do with the skull he'd found? Did he play with it?
Yes. He put candles and different lights in it.
Look, this is desecration of the dead. Spirits take revenge for such things.
Oh, God. Yes, I see this man. He's about 30. He's wearing a uniform. He's a military man.
What kind of cemetery was it?
It was an old military cemetery.
It turned out that there is an unusual cemetery in the town. The graveyard contains the remains of soldiers who perished during the assault on the local fortress during the Russo-Turkish War.
Marina's younger brother, Sergei, brought the skull to their parents' home, where, until recently, the family lived. Could it be that the terrible force is the spirit that is bound to this house?
But Sergei found the skull 20 years ago, and then he threw it away.
You know, I don't see your brother among the living. He's dead.
He didn't die naturally. It was an accident or some kind of tragedy.
His car crashed while they were coming back from the seaside.
What injury did Sergei have?
He played with the head, and so it was. He hurt his head.
Exactly. His head was injured.
The spirit took him to the other world.
Blood for blood, death for death, a head for a head. It was a revenge.
This spirit is not related to this house. I mean, it found peace after it received what it wanted.
But what is the force that I feel? And I feel the beating. Boom, boom. It won't calm down. The rumble from the underground did not stop, but it was becoming louder and louder. Look, the crows over the house.
Wow, no way. They're flying in circles.
Crows are both precursors of death and collectors of souls. The birds were obviously giving us a sign.
Can the thing that happened to Marina's house be somehow connected with the abandoned house nearby?
Come on.
Nobody has lived in this house for 2 years. Its owners left it and moved out. Nobody knows where they went or why, because they never told anybody. The townsfolk say that the family fled because of some mystical events. The door was open, so Larisa Hutsanu decided to go inside and work there. Meanwhile, Olena Kurilova was tuning in next to the house.
God, when I burned the blessed candles, they started hissing. It was a sign that there was a guest from the beyond in the house. Ah, oh dear, God.
Get out quick.
Olena, a wardrobe fell on me. There's really somebody in there, you see.
At this moment, something incredible began happening to Marina.
Are you unwell?
My knees shook and my body is trembling. And I feel cold inside and my hands are cold.
I looked at Marina and she was trembling, and a male spirit was standing behind her. It's a man with a scar on his face. He's burnt badly. He apparently died in a fire.
It might sound strange, but the locals claim that nobody has ever burned in this house.
It seemed that the spirit that scared Larisa in the house attacked Marina. We had to break the link with him immediately. The spirit of the man with the scar is bound to the abandoned house. It was it that made the owners leave. Everything in it banged and rattled. They were simply scared to stay in it.
The spirit wasn't related to the owners of the house. I had a feeling that it had occupied their territory.
But who was this man? Larisa, look, I feel the fire with my back. I'd like to leave this place. Is anybody home? Could you please let us in?
As it turned out, this man and his family used to rent the house. However, they moved out of it because of the mysterious things that happened in it.
It's impossible to live in there.
Yes. We wanted to buy it in installments, but we lived there for no more than 3 weeks. After your house burned, our door opened itself. And then it all began. The rumble, the knocks, and the spoons hit one another.
The psychics decided to work in the yard.
Who are you?
Oh my God.
Something began rumbling in the house. The people got scared because there was nobody inside.
Like something heavy fell inside.
It turned out that a coat hanger fell off the wall.
It was fixed so well here that my husband couldn't take it down, no matter how hard he tried.
The man in a shirt or jacket that is smoldering. And it's smoldering and smoldering, turning into ashes. And he says, this is my house. It's his house.
The locals say that, like in the neighboring house, nobody ever burned in this house too. So, what kind of spirits are those that burned in the fire? And why are they forcing the occupants of the houses out?
I had a feeling as if the spirits were trying to force the occupants out. And soon, instead of the town of the living, there would be a settlement of the dead.
A sudden death. The same as in that house. All these events share something. I'm going to go and ask the people if anybody of them has experienced something similar. People, tell me, please. Has any one of you ever experienced something similar in your houses? I have. You? What's your name?
My name's Tetiana.
Tetiana.
This woman lives nearby, and she claims that something unbelievable has been happening in her house too.
We stopped going outside after dark. There's a shadow from the window to the gate, but it's moving, as if it's floating without touching the ground. And it keeps approaching the door. I went outside, but there was nobody there, and I'm scared to go to the bedroom. A few days ago, I went to bed and felt a touch to the blanket. I felt immobilized, like I was pressed with something.
Tetiana, let's go to your place.
Follow me.
Nearly half of the town is gathered around the psychics. Everyone is afraid that their houses can burn too.
It was strange, but in Tetiana's house, there was another restless spirit. And what's interesting is that, just like in the previous 2 houses, it was also a victim of fire. Olena, it smells like something's burned. I touch the walls, and they're hot, like there was a fire here.
There was a fire, but in the other room.
A coincidence or not, but about a half a year ago, Tetiana had a fire too. Like in the case of Marina's house, the official version stated that the wiring caught fire, despite it was also new.
The fortune turned upside down. Again, the card of the upturned fortune, like in that house.
But who is this third spirit that the psychics see? Because nobody has ever died in fire here.
Tetiana's family has owned the house for decades, and she doesn't recall that anybody in her family has ever died in a fire. It means the spirit that occupied the house is a stranger. But where did it come from? What is its origin?
It's a global problem, and all of the troubles are connected with fires, you see?
What are the spirits of the people who burned? Where did they come from? And why are they trying to force the people out of their houses?
There's some kind of force here. I have a feeling it is spreading everywhere, like it's growing roots.
It's hard to tell whose property hasn't burned here.
Our garage burned down with the car in it, and it also happened to a similar double house over there. They had a fire twice, and it was so fierce, so powerful.
What's that? The smell of burning, the same as in every house Olena and I had visited, started coming from the ground.
And the voice, like a roar, like these are people from the beyond. And fire.
It's somehow connected with the spirits that have occupied the local houses.
The ground moves under my feet and then collapses.
It's at the grain elevator. The ground collapsed there, and you can see the entrance.
What entrance?
To the catacombs.
The old town?
The underground town?
Yes.
Let's go, we're wasting time.
It turned out that ground collapsed at the territory of the grain elevator recently. This woman saw what is there underground.
I climbed down there and saw arches and a room. It was deep.
The site of the collapse was covered with a concrete slab, but Olha gave us the photos she took inside the hole. If you look closer, you can see the tunnel.
There are restless souls there, murdered people. This is where they died.
The spirits of the people who died from fire in the tunnels brought the devastating force. And these spirits treated the people from the town as enemies.
They burned. The exit was blocked. They were sealed up here like they were in a bottle. You see, the people were murdered and they weren't buried and no ritual was performed. They're blocked inside there, like in a crypt.
This is incredible, but the psychics mentioned this at the beginning of the investigation.
I see people. They're walking covered by night, and they're holding fire in their hands. They're bearing the fire.
The people were burned alive, but what were they doing here? Who burned them? And why are they taking revenge?
They defended this area. Was it a war or what?
Only after the investigation, we learned that the psychics described the events that took place 500 years ago.
Kilia was under Turkish rule for 300 years. The famous Kilia fortress was, of course, the invading forces' main fortification.
The Turkish soldiers built a network of underground passages in the event they were assaulted.
They dug a series of underground passages that extended as far as the Dniester. Ukrainians who lived in Kilia were forced to guard a part of the tunnels that led to the river.
Who's guilty of your death? A man with a cup, a goblet. The man who drank blood killed them. I couldn't believe it. Did this mean their murderer was a vampire?
This is unbelievable. But it turned out that in the late 15th century, the notorious Count Dracula attacked the fortress.
Vlad Tepes, the renowned Romanian ruler, or more precisely, the renowned Count Dracula, attacked the Turks, but was defeated at the Kilia fortress. Infuriated, Dracula burned the entrance that led to the tunnels under the fortress, and then he ordered to cover the entrance that the imprisoned Ukrainians guarded with earth. They stayed there forever.
As we found out, Count Dracula indeed drank blood. Not because he was a vampire, though, but because he had porphyria.
Porphyria is a genetic condition in which a person can be burned by the sun so strongly that they may even suffer blisters. Currently, among the methods of treating porphyria is plasmapheresis, the clearing of blood. but there's a legend that in the Middle Ages, people drank the blood of animals, which made them feel better.
Olena, look, I feel that the man who burned these people preserved their souls in the tunnel. It's like he used some kind of spell. An elderly woman with long black hair taught him how to do it.
It turned out that when he was 12, Vlad Tepes was taken a prisoner by Turks. He spent 4 years in prison in Constanza. The boy was an heir to the throne, so the Turks gave him a servant, a captive gypsy woman. Could she, as the psychics feel, have taught the boy the secret lore? Was it Dracula's spell that held the souls of the people burned alive underground for so many years?
These souls are restless, and the pain that they suffered in the final minutes of being alive won't let go of them. They didn't understand what had happened, or why they were dead. This is why they keep coming back to where they used to live, to their land where their houses used to be.
They were bearing this awful energy. We needed to calm them down, perform the burial service, open the way to the other world, or else they threatened to turn the whole town to ashes.
The clairvoyants carried out the complex ritual next to the slab over the entrance to the ancient town for over an hour.
A seal, a key, a lock, a tongue. Amen. But I'd still recommend that the locals bring a priest here.
They all need to have the proper burial ceremony.
Thank you so much.
It's impossible to believe how the energy of the terrible crimes of the past almost ruined the entire town. The Widow's Street. A mystical force takes away beloved husbands from women. Who awakened the otherworldly killer? And for what sins? In this episode, the psychics will challenge an unknown mystical force that has taken the two closest people of Tetiana Kapitsa from Ukraine. The woman wrote about it in the letter she sent us.
Some evil spirit with mutilated face lives in my house. It has killed my husband and son. I'm next. Help me.
It all started after the family bought the house. Nobody could even think the house would become a deadly trap.
The house was quite old-fashioned, and its price suited us perfectly. We even had some money left to have it renovated.
However, several days after the family moved in, while her daughter was at school and her husband and son were at work, Tetiana saw the silhouette with the mutilated face. It suddenly appeared at the door.
I was standing in front of the mirror applying makeup when I saw a female silhouette. I closed my eyes, but when I opened them, it was gone.
After that, Tetiana's son Victor saw the creepy silhouette in the house. The spirit's face was covered with scars. It disappeared as unexpectedly as it had appeared, and the next day, the young man went to his work at the store and vanished without a trace.
I work at a pension fund. The store he worked at is next door. I knew it was his shift, so I went there, but they told me he was absent.
Friends, relatives, and the police. Everybody searched for Victor, but couldn't find him anywhere. Tetiana thought she would never see her son alive. Nevertheless, 8 months later, he suddenly came home.
He came on August 30th. I was so happy to see him because he was my child.
The 25-year-old man couldn't explain what had happened to him or where he had been. The mother thought Victor had suffered partial memory loss.
I thought he needed to spend some time at the hospital to be all right again.
But the next morning, the mother was informed that her son's heart had stopped all of a sudden.
They called me and said, "We are sorry, but your son is dead." I wanted to tell him how much I loved him. There were many things I wanted to tell him.
Sometime later, Tetiana's husband, an absolutely healthy man, died suddenly.
I went to the kitchen and saw him sitting and trying to stand up. Then he fell and started rasping. It was terrible, and then I realized he was dead.
The man's heart also stopped.
I don't know what to compare this feeling to. I understand he's not here, but I can't believe it. And then Valeria came running. She'd heard it too, and she said, "Mom, call an ambulance." And I wanted to tell her the ambulance wouldn't help.
Not long before his death, the man confessed to his wife that, like their son, he also constantly felt somebody's presence next to him and had seen a shadow of a terrifying man.
He feared. He felt he could die.
The woman is certain that some kind of otherworldly force with the mutilated face has taken her family members, and it was it that turned their home into a horror house.
When I lie in bed at night, and it's dark and quiet in the house, I hear footsteps in the attic. It's terrifying. It's really terrifying.
Tetiana and her daughter have no money to move somewhere else, and people refuse to buy the house in which 2 men died under mysterious circumstances. The woman is afraid that the evil force will take her to the other world next.
If something happens to me, Valeria will have to live in an orphanage. I beg the psychics to help me to sort out what is going on here.
The strongest psychics of the project, Jana Shulakova and Rubina Cybulska, answered the woman's request for help.
I had a very strange dream. There was a great lake, a valley, and a little pathway. My late grandmother was standing on it. She said, "Find the head and stop the death." I'm going to work with my mirror. A woman kneeled on the ground, holding a young man in her arms. He's holding his hands to his heart and dying. I hear her shout, "He's been killed!" And next to her, I see the silhouette with the mutilated face, holding a wedge. It sounds like the killing of a vampire. But what connection does it have with Tetiana and her family? I don't know. But this spirit with the mutilated face is very aggressive and dangerous. Ah! Oh God.
What a terrible thing. The huge chandelier almost killed Rubina Cybulska.
The spirit did it. The one holding the wedge. Look. We must be very careful today.
The psychics went to Tetiana's. The woman greets the psychics together with her daughter, Valeria. Their friends and neighbors are also here to support them.
Hello? Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. We need your help badly.
Could we please see the yard?
Sure. Come on in.
I see some kind of spirit from the other world go through this gate. It looks like somebody's silhouette. Did you see it?
Yes. The gate opens itself. Some force opens the gate. Say, when I wish to go outside, the door opens.
It's very heavy. Yes, it's sound. It can't be wind. And the steps, the noises, and you see somebody walk.
Yes. Yes. It did happen. I had a feeling as if someone were breathing behind me, like they were following me. It really happened.
Give me your hand. When I touched Tetiana's hand, I suddenly saw her son's spirit behind her. Your son is standing behind you.
Yes, I feel him. I felt warmth when he put his hand on my shoulder. It was glorious.
He says, "Mom, I miss you too."
Victor, son, I love you and miss you so much.
I asked Victor what was the spirit with the mutilated face that had taken him to the other world and why it had done it. And he showed me a woman. She was hysterically shouting out something, like a curse or something.
Suddenly, Rubina Cybulska started running somewhere.
Rubina, wait. His spirit entered this gate. People?
There seems to be nobody there. It's locked.
The locals say a woman named Hannah lives here. Tetiana bought the house she lives in from her, and before that, Ole, the neighbor's son, had lived in it. After the man got married, he moved to the town, and his mother sold the house. But why did the spirit bring the psychics here?
Do you know the people who live here?
Yes, we bought the house from them.
I see a man. He's standing at the door and holding his hands to his heart.
Who died here?
Uncle Kolya, the owner.
Is your neighbor a widow, too?
Yes, Aunt Hannah is a widow.
What was the cause of the owner's death?
The heart.
It turned out the neighbor's husband died in 2010. He went to bed at night and never woke up. The doctors concluded that his heart had suddenly stopped.
2 men there, 1 man here, and all because of their hearts.
Could it be connected with the land on which both houses stand?
It's connected to a woman. She's dark-haired and dark-eyed, and she looks like a gypsy.
Ole is Ukrainian, but his wife is a gypsy.
Ole is your neighbor's son, and his wife is a gypsy. Did I get it right?
Yes.
There was something in this family that caused a great scandal.
Well, it was really so, but I don't think I have the right to tell you this.
Off the record, Tetiana confessed that after she bought the house, her neighbor's son left his wife and returned to his parents, while his ex-wife stayed in the town.
It was a great row, and I feel that the situation isn't over yet. There have been offenses and scandals here.
The locals told us that Ole's ex-wife often came to her mother-in-law and her ex-husband's house, shouting and cursing. Did the abandoned woman want to take revenge on him, but didn't know the house had been sold? Did this woman's relatives become accidental victims of the war between the ex-spouses?
This evil force is seen not only by the people who live in this area.
I saw a shadow pass by the window. Once, and then a couple of minutes later was the second time. I wasn't the only one who saw it, but another girl saw it too.
What's that girl's name?
Yana.
Hold on a second, did you lose your father?
It'll be a year on the 17th.
Did he die the same way suddenly?
Yes, my father died because of his heart. A blood clot broke off.
Another man from your family is dying on the grave.
It's Dad's brother, my uncle. 2 days ago was 6 months since his death.
Did he also die because of the heart?
Yes.
This is incredible. Within just a year, the girl lost 2 men from her family. Her uncle had a heart attack on his brother's grave.
I feel this girl's father and uncle were killed by the same supernatural force as the one that took the lives of Tetiana's husband and son and her neighbor's husband. But the girl lives on the opposite end of the street, and she couldn't be connected with the houses of these women. As such, the problem definitely wasn't in the gypsy woman's curse. Jana, what happened?
At some point, I felt powerful anguish, but I couldn't understand who was emanating it. When I turned around, I suddenly saw a woman. There's a man spirit behind you. You don't live, you exist. You loved him a lot, but he left. He left you unexpectedly.
This woman's name is Yulia, and she's also a widow. Her husband, Pavlo, also died abruptly because his heart stopped.
He came back home in the morning after the night shift and went to bed. At 3:45, I found him dead. It was very hard.
After her beloved husband died, the woman has been raising 2 children, a daughter, Valeria, and a son, Dimitro, all alone.
You see him often, very often. You live in a dream.
I live in a dream with him, as if we're still living together. He comes back home from work and plays with the kids. He wanted a 3rd child a lot, so in my dream, we have the 3rd child. It's like living 2 lives. One is in a dream, and the other is in reality.
Pavlo was under 40. Yulia was devastated by the man's mysterious passing. The woman only lives with one thought on her mind. Why did her children's father, who never had any problems with his health, die so suddenly?
He never complained about his heart and never had any ailments. He had medical checkups at work, and he was completely healthy.
Give me your hand. In the dream, he's trying to warn you that your son may die next. Your son sees and feels a threat. There's fear.
Dmytro confessed to his mother that, like his father did before his death, he sees a strange shadow in the house. Afraid that she could lose her son, the woman sent him to live with his grandmother.
He fears to sleep and stay here. He hears rapping on the windows, walking, and some unexplained noises, though it's all quiet in the room.
I was shocked. A spirit emerged behind almost every woman around me.
How many widows live in this street?
There were 20 of us, in almost every house.
It's impossible to even comprehend. There's a widow living in almost every house.
After another funeral, you think involuntarily who else has stayed and who is going to be next.
We want peaceful lives.
Almost all the female residents of the street have gathered around the psychics. They spent 2 hours telling the psychics about their husbands, who died abruptly.
This is impossible. A widow, a widow, a widow, a widow. Your street is flooded with tears. Almost every woman around us was a widow, and those who hadn't lost their husbands yet had buried their brothers or fathers. The evil spirit with the mutilated face hunted men only.
What should we do? Please help us.
Suddenly, Rubina Cybulska went to the end of the street and found a glade.
My God, I hear moaning. It sounds like it's coming from the underground. It's necrotic energy, it's like a calling. I asked the locals to excavate the spot. I needed to understand where the call for help was coming from.
A skull. A skull.
Don't touch it.
Dear God.
The spirit might be highly aggressive.
We went to a safe distance to tune in and understand who that dead man whose skull we'd found was.
I had a feeling as if I were falling into a grave. Then the spirits of men began emerging around us. They were all thin and exhausted. Like zombies.
What kind of place is this?
There used to be Palermo here. They sold drugs here.
It turned out that this street used to be notorious throughout the Soviet Union. Back then, there was one of the biggest spots for the production and sale of drugs in it. This place was even called Palermo, after a famous TV show about Italian drug cartels.
The trade was thriving. Huge crowds frequented here. People came here on crutches and even rolling each other on wheelchairs.
The street's current residents began settling here in the mid-90s. Prior to it, most houses were occupied by drug dealers. Addicts from everywhere arrived here for the drugs.
They looked terrible. They were real zombies. They indeed were like living dead. They took out the bodies of dead addicts, corpses, twice a week. It happened all the time. They died everywhere.
Who sold the drugs? Why do I only see women?
The women did it.
Oh my God, it's so awful.
It turned out that all of it is terrible truth. The men were in charge of delivering the drugs, while the women made and sold them.
The women made and sold the drugs.
The people are still shocked that, for 10 years straight, the law enforcers didn't even try to close Palermo down. It turned out that the addicts' bodies weren't only found along the street, but also in the local pond, which has dried out with time, becoming a field. This is precisely where the psychics are standing right now.
How old were we? 9 or 10, probably? We ran around all the local water bodies and reeds. We saw people lying face down in the water and understood they weren't alive. I, personally, found 2 bodies.
There were plenty of them half dead. In the pond, in the ravine over there, anywhere. I'm only talking about those who were found, and how many weren't found. This dead pond. I'm certain there are lots of them in it.
So this is the lake I saw in my dream. And this is the head my grandma was talking about. The otherworldly force with the wedge in its hands appeared here. What kind of entity is it? And why is it killing men only?
Do you remember I told you about a woman crying over a man? A woman kneeled on the ground, holding a young man in her arms. He's dying in front of her. I hear her shouting that he's been killed. It happened right at this place.
Yes.
It turned out that the people remember a story of a woman who brought her drug-addicted husband here because she couldn't see his torments anymore.
She brought her husband here so he could get his drugs and feel better, and he died in her arms.
This woman understood she couldn't save her addicted husband from death. She came with him here to at least know where he died and to bury him. And the moment his heart stopped, I hear her scream. I wish you all to stay widows here and know what it means to bury the men you love.
Her words became a curse. Every woman who came to live on this street lost the men she loved.
Help us. Help us, please. Impose protection on this village.
First of all, we needed to lure the entity there, and then close it down through the women's prayers.
Jana Shulikova asked the local women to help her make the fire for the ritual, and she strictly forbade the men to approach it.
The fire must burn out completely. With it, the curse that killed the people will burn out too.
Thank you so much from all of us.
It's unbelievable what consequences the old crimes of the drug dealers have led this small village to. There is a saying that you have to pay for everything in life, and they say it for a reason. But the worst thing is that the price must be paid not only by those who did the cruel things or stayed indifferent to them. Often, perfectly innocent people pay it too.